We have a lot to unpack here in this video, so grab your popcorn, sit back, and digest information as I give it to you here. This is Michigan Storm Chasers. I am Ryan, and this is going to be a longer video, I assume, today. We have a lot to break down and talk about. Before I get started, though, give a shout out to today's sponsor of the video. Above my head is the logo. It is StormGuard Roofing and Construction today. They are based in the Detroit metro area, Oakland, Macomb counties. For roofing construction needs across the southeast Michigan area, feel free to give StormGuard a call. The number there on the screen is 248-985-3239. And thank you to StormGuard, as always, for sponsoring our videos and us here at Michigan Storm Chasers. We have multiple days to talk about of potential storms, starting with today, Monday. Let's go ahead and break this down here. SPC outlook for Monday, June 16th. We have the western part of the UP in dark green color that indicates a level 1 severe weather risk. That is going to be over there for Ironwood, close to Iron Mountain there, Gogebic County. Sitting just off to the west is your level 2 risk. Currently not in Michigan, which is great news. And then obviously enhanced over here, level 3 for Minnesota and the very far western part of Wisconsin. Then obviously over here in the light green color is just general thunderstorms expected. No severes expected in the light green colored areas. Hazards today, tornado, none in the UP, but it's close there to Ironwood, but just sitting off to the west there. We also have damaging wind as your primary concern for the exact same areas there. It's a 5 to 14% chance of seeing a severe wind gust in that brown-red color up in the western UP. And then also some hail threat there as well, the exact same areas. 5 to 14% chance of seeing a severe hailstone 1 inch or larger in that brown-red color there in the western UP. Now, going through the models here, good news, based on the latest model guidance, does suggest storms may not hold together, and that may be the case here. Running this through the time frames today. This is at 10 a.m. currently. Here's 11 a.m., here's noon, here's 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock tonight, 8 o'clock. There are some storms pushing into the UP right around 8 o'clock tonight Eastern time, so 7 p.m. Central if you're up there in the UP on Central time. But after this moves through, it doesn't really become robust according to the model here, so perhaps just some showers and storms there that linger from about 7 p.m. or so through about that midnight time frame. We go closer to, we're going to say 3 here, 4 o'clock in the morning, 5, 6. We have some pop-ups there, 6 o'clock in the morning into Tuesday morning at this point, that do pop up there for parts of the central and eastern part of the UP, but also the west and northern half of lower Michigan. Those should not be strong or severe, but it could be quite a loud morning for some of you guys further north if this line does develop. So latest guidance suggests that the threat tonight may be diminishing just a bit. There is still some instability out there to support some severe weather, so we're going to mention it as a possibility in the western UP. But as the night goes on, as that line moves across the state there and begins to develop further, severe weather chances are much lower come Tuesday morning here. This is at 5 o'clock, or sorry, no, this is at 7 o'clock in the morning here. This should not be a concern for severe weather. Here's 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m., and now we're into Tuesday. Tuesday, going into the latest SPC outlook here. Currently, no risk for severe weather in the state, but we do have the entire state in a general thunderstorm risk. This outlook will be updated at 1:30 p.m. today. Personally, I feel they should add at least a marginal risk for certain parts of the state. I'll show you guys why. Latest guidance here. Now we're at Tuesday at noon right here. Here's 1 p.m., here's 2 p.m., here's 3 p.m. A healthy looking line of storms develops here across central and southern Michigan during the afternoon hours for tomorrow, which is Tuesday. As this moves into the evening, here's 4 p.m., here's 5 p.m., here's 6 p.m. A second line develops back here across Wisconsin, Illinois areas. That pushes due eastward here into Michigan. So we have line 1 over here, this is at 6 p.m., and line 2 back across Chicago. Here is 7 p.m., here's 8 p.m., here's 9 p.m., and that pushes onto the Berrien and Van Buren, Allegan County area, right around the 9 p.m. time frame Tuesday evening. So potentially 2 areas of showers and storms. Some of these could be strong or perhaps severe, with damaging wind being the primary concern. Here is 11 p.m. There's midnight, and by about midnight or so, that kind of diminishes into just some lingering rain showers there. But as that first arrives, it does appear to be quite strong in nature. Overlap that with instability and wind shear, we get a little bit of it across southwest Michigan there. Keep an eye on that very closely. There's your instability on the surface, quite a bit of it out there. So storm field definitely there. Wind shear as well is certainly there as well. So just keep an eye on that very closely into Tuesday. We're going to watch it closely, but I would not be shocked at 1:30 p.m. today, or perhaps the overnight outlook tomorrow morning, to wake up to a marginal, perhaps a slight risk in the state for Tuesday as well. All right, so that is your Tuesday outlook. And then we get to the big day of concern, which is Wednesday. Wednesday, we have a marginal risk level 1 that extends up to about Mackinac. And it extends down to Gaylord, Manistee, Traverse City, and the Thumb region, Port Austin, Port Huron areas over here. Level 2 risk across more populated centers of Michigan: Grand Rapids, Lansing, Flint, Detroit, Ann Arbor, Adrian, Monroe, Jackson, Kalamazoo, Battle Creek. All these populated centers within that level 2 slight risk here for Wednesday. There are currently no hazard depictions per the SPC just yet. That happens on day 2. So we wake up tomorrow morning, we're going to have all of those probabilities and hazards per the SPC. But we also do have a couple models here depicting what could happen for the Wednesday time frame. So here is the RRFS model. We're going to fast forward this into the Wednesday at noon time frame. Here is 12 p.m. Wednesday afternoon, hour by hour: 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 4 p.m. Got some storms popping up there across northern lower. That is not the main show. Here's 5 p.m. Here's 6 p.m. Do take note, Lake Michigan. That is our concern here for Wednesday evening. 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m. Now, you may be looking at this and going, well, it doesn't look very potent, and that's okay. The main gist, what I'm trying to tell you guys here, is there's going to be potentially a line of storms that develops here across the Wisconsin, Illinois area. It pushes on to Michigan as a bow echo, and that does have potential to bring damaging winds, large hail, and yes, even tornadoes to the state of Michigan based on the current model data. The wind shear is there. There's a lot of moisture, humidity to fuel. There's a lot of lift with the low pressure system moving through. There's a lot of wind shear out there, a lot of spin as well. So all hazards are possible Wednesday evening, centered around that late afternoon, 5 or 6 p.m. time frame through about that 2 a.m. time frame is going to be the main concern for Wednesday. I know the model doesn't make it look very intense, but that is pretty typical of these models being at this range. I would expect it to look much better come tonight, if not tomorrow. We'll have a better idea of what to expect based on model guidance. But do take note, Wednesday is our highest concern for severe weather, centered around that evening time frame for the southern and central parts of lower Michigan. All of this put together here, we go beyond Wednesday. We have additional chances of storms here going into this model on Thursday afternoon. A lot of rain moves through for the overnight hours of Wednesday into Thursday morning. But by the time Thursday afternoon rolls back around, guess what? More storms up there in the UP possibly. So perhaps 5 straight days of severe weather chances here. And guess what? Friday looks drier, but Saturday, Sunday looks more intense yet again. So potentially this week, 6 of 7 days may have chances for severe weather here in the state of Michigan. I'm not going to say every day will have severe, but the chance is definitely there with the hot, muggy conditions, with the wind shear, with the lift in place. We certainly could see severe weather here multiple days this week. So putting it all together here, CSU learning model. We're not going to go over Monday, Tuesday, but we can tell you guys Wednesday here, highest probability according to CSU is to our south. But you can still see that yellow 15% probability across south central Michigan there. Indiana, Western Ohio, Illinois does have the 30% probability based on the CSU here. Not a surprise there. Would expect that to shift around a little bit more. We go into the for the Thursday time frame. The CSU says no risk currently into Michigan there. But we go into Thursday, and there we go here. Friday. I'm a day behind here. Friday, here comes those chances returning. We go to Saturday. Guess what? Saturday and Sunday are back-to-back days once again here to watch, and even potentially Monday as well. So this pattern continues. Active, wet, stormy, severe weather, a possibility here multiple days this week. So, takeaway from this, we're going to take it day by day here. All right. Every day around noon will be an update video from me here at Michigan Storm Chasers. Briefings 7 p.m. every night that we have severe chances the next day. Do expect one to come in Tuesday, tomorrow at 7 p.m. for that Wednesday time frame. And if tomorrow starts trending up even further, we'll do a briefing perhaps tonight. If not tonight, then tomorrow morning as well. But stay with us. Make sure you have notifications turned on. Every time we go live, you'll have a notification that gets pushed to your phone. If you're not following us on Facebook, you should be following us on Facebook and keeping track of all of our forecasts going out over the next couple of days. And then once again, I'm going to highlight this once again more. Haven't talked about this video, but I will briefly mention it here. The heat and humidity will be intense the next 10 to 15 days here. You may look at upper 80s here, mid upper 80s, and think, well, it's not too bad, and you're correct. Temperature-wise, it's not bad. But when you couple with humidity, your heat indices will be in the mid 90s at least, and then perhaps the weekend, look at these temperatures here, 92, 94, 98, and 97. These are temperatures, mind you. Heat indices well into 100, a possibility centered around that weekend and early next week time frame. So the heat is going to be here. Welcome to summer. We are officially made it to our summer pattern. I am Ryan. This is Michigan Storm Chasers. Again, stay tuned to the pages, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, or X. We'll keep you guys updated. I'm Ryan signing off. You guys have a great day. Updates will follow as new data comes in.